Welcome to today's Dashcam Diary of Disabled. Oh, I hurt my head. Oh. So, I threw my lower back out last night. Not nearly like how it felt when things got tweaked in the wrong way on Monday. Oh gosh, ow. Oh, there's so much tension on my spinal cord near my freaking... Ow. Spit on that thing. Alright. Enough of the jokes. I got jokes this morning. Trying to lighten my mood to make me laugh about horrendous pain in my freaking forehead. It's not pleasant at all, people. It's not pleasant. I am on my way to the chiro as per usual. I'm now at 3 times a week like I didn't want to be. But I need to strengthen these muscles, folks. I need to tighten these muscles so things don't slip out like this as frequently. I did like a large amount of shopping yesterday. Large amount. And then I slept all afternoon. And then stayed up for a couple hours and then went right back to sleep. All I can do in flares really is just like lay, sleep, eat, sleep, eat. And I'm trying to like make sure I do stuff out of bed for a couple hours per day. Sometimes I just can't get as much accomplished as I would like. It's tough being disabled, and I've long accepted it. There are some days that I grieve about it more than others, because grief can last a lifetime. Grief can be a lifetime of feelings and sensations that take you aback sometimes. Sometimes these emotions come out of the floodgates when you're least expecting them. Like when I talk to some of my friends and I hit the right nerve and I can get my friends just cry with like just overwhelming feelings of like acceptance. I've done it multiple times. And yeah, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of making people cry and helping them feel their feelings that they are so hardcore trying to repress. They want to repress these feelings so hard because they don't want to feel them. It's uncomfortable. Feelings are uncomfortable. But feelings are also joyous and wonderful. Here I am using good descriptive words. Feelings help life be life. If we didn't have feelings, you just... I swear I end up like a politician with no feelings. I don't know. I don't know where that came from, but I said it. I don't know if they have feelings. And that's what I heard growing up in a very misogynistic society in the 90s in particular. And now it seems like our country is so divided, or maybe even the world, I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've traveled worldwide, so, you know, each country is different. Each country has their own sets of problems. Been listening to a lot of podcasts in the background on various topics. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos since I've been in a flare. Yeah, society changes, life changes. That is the only constant in life is change. Remember that. That's the only thing that will always, you can always count on change happening in life. So, life is change. Change is life. You can change your own life by choice. You have choices. In our country, you have a lot more choices than others. Other countries do offer a certain set of societal norms. Like the two guys on the podcast that I was listening to recently, I don't recall if it was Diary of a CEO, which I watch that guy a lot. But I also watched this Andrew Huberman, which is a neuroscientist, and he loves to give free information out there and does these long 2 to 3 hour podcast episodes that really just, it's a long time out of your day. If you have a lot of time on your hands to listen to a lot of things, I see why podcasts are a thing. I used to listen to podcasts a lot when I was working for Washington State Parks. I was just so excited to say Washington. Washington State Parks, when I was doing trail maintenance with the Conservation Corps of America for Veterans. Wonderful program. Washington State is the first state to implement it and use the program. And then Colorado pretty much exactly copied its statutes and law, or whatever, the guidelines. And it's a federally funded VA state-ran program. Very rarely do you have federal and state working together, but when you have the state and the federal government believing in you to help make a difference in one of the largest undersupported. The veterans are undersupported in the ways of mental health development and programs that are beneficial not only for veterans, but with the way COVID has traumatized the majority of society into forcing everybody online. So, as an example, for me, when I got out of the military, which I had limited internet exposure because of always being on the job 24/7. You're signing a contract that your government owns your body and your time. Night and day don't matter what. You can have off hours, but you're basically on call 24/7, especially when you're attached to a ship or an air squadron. You rely on each other as a crew, and you're a well-trained working machine when you all work together, and everybody is working towards the same goal of we're going to stay alive, and our forward mission as states by the government and the President of the United States of mandating what we do at what times and at what frequency. The President-in-Chief, he's we have held what the President does. And it says, and he gets guidance from people that are experts in every field and specialize in warfare and military operations and infrastructure of said military. As much as I hate to say it, I think other countries have it right with making it a part of the curriculum or part of at least the first couple years of every citizen's life. A draft per se, let's say, for women and men, not just men. I don't think the draft should come back and be just men. We are supposed to be an equal opportunity force, and why why it's always just the men that are drafted and required to do the time. Why can't we do that on women too? I think it's a very good way to transition into what it's like knowledge-wise and physical-wise, how to get the job done and work together towards one common goal, to bring society together and to thinking about things from the other side. So maybe we can stop villainizing all of our politicians that have served, at least. Those are the people that get my respect more so than people that have not served in the military. Automatically. I don't know, it's my bias. I know it's because of my bias, but that's because I serve myself. And the benefits of serving are very large. So why can't we incorporate some kind of requirement, not per se draft, I don't want to say draft, but requirement of its citizens. Every single citizen needs to serve in the military around the age of 18 until 20. Until they become, let's say, just 2 years. That, like, usually right now there's only a minimum of 4-year enlistments. Why can't we just go to 2? I think it helps give everybody an idea of what a socialized type setting is like, and you respect the ranks. And if you don't respect the ranks, you end up in the brick. You do more time served. So if you serve, let's say you serve some time in the brick because you weren't wanting anything to do with it. But what it gives you is routine. It gives you structure. It gives you a path of what you know you're going to do every single day at every moment of the day, basically. And then you get several hours of yourself in the evenings with your family, with the exception of people being on ships. But I think everybody should go through one cycle of a ship's workup cycle, and then a training cycle. And I think that does take about 2 years. Let's say not everybody gets put on that ship, though, because we do need shore-based duty stations, which we have throughout the entire world as forward presence in all these countries that we're NATO nations with. We have bases at. We shut down a lot of them in the Clinton years. It was all about the BRAC closures and getting rid of our forward presence in a lot of countries. So a lot of these countries have kind of pulled back and been like, hey, we're not being watched by the United States anymore in person. They don't have a base here. Clinton closed that sheet down a long time ago. So, yeah. What do y'all think of this idea? I mean, I think I know not everybody's built for military life. Not everybody is. But the structure, you get a specialized training. The military trains you in one specialty. We have the lowest stats of people joining the military than we ever have in the history of having a military. Nobody's volunteering. You know why? I think part of it, I had a great conversation with an Army veteran in the craft store yesterday. I noticed his hat. I was wearing my veteran hat. And I love that when I can run into an older man. And, you know, they don't expect a woman especially, but like when you go to look and you both are wearing the veteran hats and they're like, mad respect. Shook my hand. I was like, thank you for serving. And then when he noticed my hat, he held out his hand and was like, thank you for serving. Like, he wasn't going to shake my hand for me thanking him originally, but when he saw I was a vet too, totally changed his whole demeanor, and he was willing to, you know, like, yeah. And they talked about his son served for, you know, this guy served for 27 years, his son served for like 23. He got up to captain. His son didn't only get up to enlisted. No, his son went to captain. He only enlisted. He was like E6 forever, he said. I told him how fast I moved up in rank, because when what I did. But I love these little side conversations. As somebody being on the spectrum and with my ADHD focus and such, sometimes I hate small talk. I hate small talk with a passion, but it is necessary. You're not trying to bring that person's attitude down for the day, especially if there's somebody that's in a great perky mood. And you don't, like when I go to the bank, like, how are you today? I'm just like, some days I'm really honest. I'm just like, I barely made it. I'm here though. And other days I'm just like, I return the energy, and I try to have that energy when I go out in public. It's just not always possible because of my flares. They're the worst of timing. But I also I try to time my errands so that I can have the energy to be the person I want to be outside the house. And it's easy for me to ramp myself up and hype myself up because my immune system's always on overdrive. So that internally is already on overdrive, and I'm trying to suppress it with medication. I can still get really wound up really fast. Wound up in, like, not a negative connotation at all times by any means. Like, I get wound up excited, happy, like, go-getter. But my emotions can be very extreme, especially when I'm in my hormonal woman cycle. Gosh, I was a stupid mess right before I got on these steroids, and I just wonder if it's time to change my implant. I have to think about it. I have the implant. I have to change it every 3 years, and gosh, I lose track of time. Like, time flies. Time flies, mostly because I nap a lot. It's just like periods of time just disappear because I'm napping and resting. I'm in a flare. My body's just like fighting to just, what are you doing, lady? You're taking this medication, you're taking that medication. This is an upper, this is a downer. How are we supposed to regulate this stuff? Well, it's because these medications target certain parts of the body. Actually, it's not this road. What am I doing? I took the wrong exit. Oh. See, I'm all excited talking about things. Lose my focus. Scared myself. Didn't miss my exit. Alright. I used to live off this exit. It's freaking nuts. So, it's easy for me to get distracted, obviously, as you just saw. My appointment started 3 minutes ago, so I'm going to be at least 8 minutes. So that means I'm going to get like a 20-minute adjustment today. Sometimes it takes me almost 20 minutes just to get into position, into where I need to be. I'm betting the people that he sees, it is a Friday, and there's a lot of people that are regulars, and so we have our like specified time slots. Excuse me. Sometimes people get on the cancellation, but you know what I really freaking love about my chiropractors is, one, they allow me to not make payments every single time I come in. Two, I schedule appointments even if I don't think I'm going to need them. I learned that this is the way to work with this chiropractor office, since it is all of my money out of pocket. I owe over $1,000 right now. It's ridiculous because of all the planning and prep and money I needed for EDC. And this was in May. It's August. I am still trying to catch up from like 2 months of adjustments. Plus, I keep racking up adjustments 3 times a week now too. And what screwed me over was going 3 times a week. Like, I could manage the 1 time a week and financially be able to afford that. But to have to go 3 times a week without any insurance payments because they just don't draw the line there. Because it's just him and his twin brother. They're local. They do it out of a freaking trailer on some property on some farmland. They treat freaking pretty much the farming community. They have early as F hours. They like start adjustments at like 4 something in the morning, I think. 4 or 5. I don't know. It's ridiculous early. And when I first started coming in here, I didn't have my set day of the week or time. But I need an hour long. I really do. I need an hour long. I go over my half hour all the time, and it's putting him behind schedule. He's willing to do it, but it does really, depending on who his patients are that he sees, he knows who he can kind of get away with making late and who he, can't. I'm very complicated. I need more time regardless. These half-hour appointments, I barely get anything accomplished, but what it does do is it does prevent the cascade of worsening pain over the weekend and waiting until Monday to get the rest of the adjustment taken care of because it's another half hour. So it's like I get halfway adjusted in these appointments just to prevent me from having worse problems go out, because it's putting strain on certain parts of my body, and I felt it immediately when I put my back out last night. And it's because me and my dad had dinner. My dad barbecued burgers. There's something going on over here. Oh, I'm gonna have to check out what the F that is. I'm gonna ask my chiropractor when I get there. Like, what's going on over here by the freaking stadium? Freaking sweet. Something's going on. And it looks like some tents and a way to spend money that I don't have. And the Oregon State Fair comes at the end of the month, and I want to go see Ludacris because he's going to be here. Last year, I snuck in, and it's because I know the sound guy. And the sound guy is like this older guy. He's a friend of some other friends of mine, and I think he's related in some freaking way, and I just haven't figured out how. But these people are a little bit younger than me, like they were in class or a little below me in high school, but I love them both dearly. They got married not long after high school, this couple of friends of mine, and they have one daughter, and man, my car would always break down outside his dad's house, like always break down, and he was a car guy, and he was inappropriate with the way he talked to a teenage girl like me, but I brought it on. Like, I welcome the banter. Because these adults would get a fucking riot out of me. I would make them laugh all so hard, and just my sexual innuendos that I'd throw out there and like totally take people off guard. I would make a fool of myself, guys. When I was in high school, I was the goofiest mother trucker. I'd make everybody laugh over the dumbest of things. I wouldn't like do things to hurt myself, but I would make everything sexual. Everything was sexualized to me. I would make everything phallic, and I would embarrass the heck out of my mom so much. I don't so much anymore, and that part of my personality is still underneath. It's just life has like really changed how I portray myself now in front of strangers. Once they get to know me, then they can really see that side of me, but I haven't showed that part of me in so long. I miss that part of me, just laughing and making people laugh over the stupidest things. There's a time and a place for everything, though, and I just don't got that type of energy like I used to. But anyways, thank you for listening to Jenna's TED Talk today. About, like, there's so many things that could be so much different in this world and country. Alright, peace out, y'all.